intro. Y'all ain't ready for this. The disrespect is real.
I don't give a fuck. I'll do it again. I'm not above it. I am that snake bitch.
No, it's okay. You guys are all welcome to trash Queen in the chat. We'll hold a whole panel on Queen.
I am honest to a point, but a lot of the things I talk about aren't true.
Wait, somebody not telling the truth on YouTube? Are you fucking serious? Oh my god. Oh my god.
Got a monster inside of me. You better watch out if you ignite me. The road ahead of full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he grows me. And he gets claws real big, pissed off quick. And if you cross him, you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course, settling the sword. Never getting bored, loves the blood and gore. Always wanting more freedom from the source. They don't really understand until they feel the force departed. If you start shit, you'll be heartless in the darkness. Torn apart quick, you let scars rip. You'll be chewed up and discarded.
Me and my friends, we're gonna find you and we're gonna rip you apart like a wasteland.
Snakes don't get a fucking safe space. If she wants to keep it going, then we'll keep going. If she wants to stop the bullshit, then we'll stop the bullshit. But I'm not gonna fucking sit here and let anybody lie on my motherfucking name.
Bring your ass. The fucking link is in the chat. That's you.
Oh, loose booty, wet panty looking ass boy. Replay that, Queen. Her name is Queen. It ain't really so much Queen. Queen B. Queen B. Queen B. Okay, there. Queen B. Queen B's money. Queen B ain't got no money. Queen B.
She always fucks some shit up. I don't know why PJ doesn't get his ass on a motherfucking leash and get his ass under control. Fuck.
Better than never. I can feel my heart rate, adrenaline pressure. It's stormy weather, lightning, thunder, pouring weather. Yo, I'm a go-getter, try to do it like me, but I do it better. I got a mind that's clever, the beast inside is competitive as ever. I'm conscious, my subconscious, an accomplice to me. I promise the darkness, I can honest believe. But don't cross me, I might lose control of the lost beast. So, he's locked away inside with the key control by fight or flight.
And I haven't brought it public, you know why? Because someone that I was fucking close to is in the middle of a goddamn lawsuit. How do I get my hands on your stuff? Because I need something to clean these titty flops. My job is just not doing them.
Bring your asses. As simple as that. Come in. Bring it. Bring your asses. Hey, don't get Queen B at her 550, 600 service. Bring their asses out.
You might have started it, but I'm gonna finish it.
Absolutely. Or go to somebody else's panel. Let me just say Queen B's panel. I'm telling you, we all need to go up on Queen B's panel because that seems where everybody's going. I guess Queen B is like the god of YouTube.
Queen B Escobar, bro.
She's in China just making drugs.
You know, I run the cartel on the YouTubes. I run the cartel here. You know what I mean? Like, because that's what boss bitches do.
Exactly. Beefing with the Queen Bee because I heard the stinger sucks.
This lady Queen Bee with the lip ring is innocent. You two weirdos are being weird. No, I know who this is. You're the lady that was on Molly Go Lightly.
No. You have no doubt QB could hold her own with any female on YouTube. Let me tell you something we all learned a long time ago.
I would fuck her up and drag her from here to China. Let's meet one-on-one.
Writing checks their mouth can't cash. Bitch, I didn't write a check my mouth can't cash. I cash all them motherfucking checks.
And I cannot for the life of me understand why people put her on a pedestal. And these allegedly smart people put her on this pedestal like she's something important.
We got to tell you about yourself. It's your fucking overlying ass over there. Is her fucking name obnoxiously relevant?
Because she
I know, she changed it.
She meant to say obnoxious and irrelevant. That's what she meant to say.
And coincidentally, it sounds exactly like Queen Bee's voice because, as I've always thought, Queen Bee is using some sort of slight distortion on her voice when she broadcasts.
Exposed!
Queen Bee exposed! Oh my god, bitch. Did they get that Dugan?
Said they get that Dugan. That shit Chronicle Shady, you better fucking shut your mouth with that. Bro, stop.
Wow. What in the hell? Someone told Queen Bee that you said it was her hacking your emails. What the hell is wrong with people?
Why
Take your ass to bed. It's fucking past your bedtime. Go on now.
Right? Why you gotta be crying?
Motherfucker killing the vibe, bitch. Take your ass to bed. Boston, no, I'm not capping at all. I'm telling the whole truth.
Good, babe.
Anyway, guys, I'm gonna skedaddle. You know me, skedaddling away. See you
All
guys.
right.
Pumpkin. I love you too.
I despise you, Boston.
Whatever.
Good morning, beautiful.
Happy day.
Happy day, baby. We got rigor today. Gotta trigger these motherfuckers every day.
Baby Jesus showed us that, you guys. I swear to God.
I know that's right, because you just put right on that shit.
Yes, I did. Baby Jesus was like, look here.
Yeah, fuck the pause. Pause for the cause. Fuck that pause.
I'm just trying to be a better person. I know it.
Let's see here. God damn it, Duke. You hear him?
Yes, your dog is.
Damn it, Duke.
Girl, this tea is piping.
It's living. These motherfuckers hot.
That just burnt the roof of my mouth.
Where's Candy Sue? Where's she at? You heard that like I heard that one. Fire in the hole. Smoke him if you got him.
You're like the type of person that would probably be in the back of the class.
Fuck you, me too.
Ellie's a thug.
Right.
You don't
We're all thugs around here. Shambles. Thank you for supporting the hot biddies. Y'all wasn't ready for that, was you?
Wait, I wasn't, bitch. I wasn't even close to ready for that shit. All right, I love you, baby girl. I'm gonna jump off.
I love you too, baby doll. Yo, what's happening? What's happening? Good morning. How y'all doing on this beautiful day? Everybody up and awake and ready to get moving on this fine Tuesday of a morning. I was up late last night over on the Hive going over a shit stream that I'm going to continue to go over tonight. So I will finish it out tonight. Let me see. I got the link pinned and ready to go. We got to get caught up on the Kansas 3. There's a whole lot going on, and then I'm gonna start the Crumbly trial because we are gonna go over that. That trial is gonna set precedents for a lot of stuff going down. These are the first parents to ever be charged, and to ever go on trial for their son. You know, for their son being a school shooter. Corinne, thank you for gifting a membership, baby. I appreciate that. Starting the stream off right, baby. Go ahead. That's what I'm talking about, girl. Ellie is a thug. Yes, she is a thug. Yes, she is. Okay, so here, let's see. There's all kind of stuff going on. Did y'all watch Burnt Toast last night? She went through the last filing that Betty had put in for the lawsuit. And my PayPal pool actually was filled, and there was a donation done yesterday during Burnt Toast's live, and it filled the PayPal pool for deposition. So we have what we need for Betty to start her deposition. She needs to pick a date. And if she doesn't, then I think we put in for a date for her. The lawyer will pick some days for her, and then she'll have to go, around that and try to pick a day to come down here. I mean, if she can travel and go to Alex Murdaugh's trial and go all over, you know what I'm saying? And she can travel for other things, and she can travel for this lawsuit that she filed for, a frivolous lawsuit that she put out. So she needs to go on ahead and get her days picked. Come on, boo thing. Get y'all stuff done.
How did they die in plain sight? And why were those 3 Kansas City Chief fans left in the cold for so long? A mystery for nearly 3 weeks, and we still really don't have answers. It started as friends meeting up to watch a Kansas City game. A chaotic 2 days later, the men were found dead in a snowy backyard. So now the friend who hosted the party is lawyering up, and a girlfriend of one of the victims tells News Nation she thinks they were murdered. To keep it all straight for us, we have correspondent Alex Capriello live in Kansas City. Alex, what can you tell us?
Yeah, hey there, Elizabeth. This right here behind me is the home where those 3 men's bodies were found.
Yeah, there's been a whole lot of suspicious stuff going on. And thank you guys. Tia Marie 77 gifted a membership. Thank you so much. And whoever got it, make sure you tell her thank you. Happy for Life, $1.99 super sticker. Thank you so much, love. I appreciate that. And Tia Marie with the $2 super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate you supporting the Hive, baby. Thank you.
Found, but I actually want to direct your attention over here. You see that gate? That's what leads to the backyard, and that's where police actually made that shocking discovery. I say shocking because that's what people here in the neighborhood tell me. This is a low crime, very safe community. But the person who actually lives here, Jordan Willis, the center of so much speculation, was not well known among the people who walk these streets each and every day.
3 families remain distraught over the sudden and unexpected deaths of their loved ones. David Harrington, Clayton McGeeney, and Ricky Johnson, found dead in their friend's Kansas City backyard. The grandmother of David Harrington telling News Nation exclusively that the family hasn't heard much from police since their bodies were discovered nearly 3 weeks ago. I would like to know that someone is really working on this case, Grandma Marilyn Wingate said. I don't see how it could have been an accident. There are too many holes that are not filled in. Too many questions. On Monday, knocks at the door where the 3 men died went unanswered. Police say a friend, Jordan Willis, had been renting out the property. His attorney claims he fell asleep after saying goodbye to his friends and remained unaware their bodies were laying outside his home for 2 full days. Willis's lawyer says the young man is heartbroken over his friend's death.
This is Jordan Willis's lawyer, and he's came out with 8011 teen stories.
Investigators say they don't suspect murder, nor see any signs of foul play.
We have 3 guys. We have 6 children that don't have a dad. We have families. We have friends. And we're all hurting.
On Friday, in an exclusive interview with News Nation's Chris Cuomo, Lori Cruz, mother to David Harrington's kids, says she suspects there's more to this story than what police.
The family said they are not drug addicts. They were not on drugs. There was something happened. Something happened. There was no reason. They left healthy. They were healthy and they were fine when they left.
Are letting on.
David was murdered. Whether it's a drug or it has to be for 3 men to be dead. It doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense to have 3 men dead laying in the yard and him asleep for 48 hours.
Yeah, and we reached out to the Kansas City Police Department. They're not really revealing much more than what they originally did about the cause of death. Remember, no foul play, no signs of murder. What we're really waiting on at this point is toxicology reports, and that could take several weeks. Speaking to the family of David Harrington, they say that's really the main piece that they want to see before speaking anymore.
Boy, what a devastating story. Alex Capriello, thank you so much.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's very devastating. I mean, I couldn't imagine. Could y'all imagine your man, your kid's dad or whatever saying, hey, I'm going to go to a football game with my buddies. We're going to go over to Jordan's house and watch a football game. I'll be back here in a little bit. I love you. And then walks out the door and you never see him again. Then you got to go over here to the house, beat on the fucking door, break in the house because they won't open the door. What's up, being dreaming? What you doing, girl?
Hello, mama.
How are you, babe?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, good. Going over this story. Isn't this crazy? This is like mind blowing to me.
It really is.
It's
And
really sad. That's what it is. I'm can't imagine. You know what I'm saying? One of my, my boyfriend or my husband going over to there, watch a football game, and next thing you know, boom, gone. They're passed away, deceased. I just.
Yep.
With the kids and all that. Here, this is the neighbor right here. Have you seen this one where the neighbor took a video of him getting arrested? He was in handcuffs. The neighbor got a video. Yeah, check this out. The neighbor got a video. We watched it last night. But this is the neighbor guy, and his name is, I think it's Ashton. So anyhow, he walks out and sees the police outside, and they actually have Jordan handcuffed. Here, I'll play it.
I told you about Ashton Brady. He was the neighbor who lives right across from Jordan Willis, who just by happenstance looked out at the exact moment that 911 was being called. Ashton, we know now that was Clayton's fiance that actually discovered those bodies, called 911 and alerted the authorities. Just walk me through what you saw in that moment.
So basically, I was just going, turn off all my lights. I was getting ready for bed, locking the doors. I went to lock my front door, and I saw a woman come out of the backyard on her phone, and she looked distressed because she kept looking back towards the house, and I thought it was weird. But I just moved in, so I really didn't know much, and so I just went back to my room. 10 minutes later, I saw an ambulance drive by, and I said, well, that's just weird. Something's going on. Went to the front room, looked out, and I saw that there was already 3 cop cars, and there was a man detained, and the woman was talking to the other police. And basically, I kind of watched that conspire for an hour or two. The man eventually left. The police searched the house, went through the backyards and everything, and I had no idea what had happened. And the next morning, I saw the news that they had found 3 dead bodies, and I just was kind of in disbelief. I was like, wow, I watched that happen.
Right, and actually we're looking at that video that you shot right there on the top left corner of your screen. So basically you're saying that's the video where you're actually looking out and you can see Jordan Willis being detained.
That's probably within the first 5 to 10 minutes. I was like, oh my goodness, something serious is going on at least. So yeah.
So you're red.
So yeah, he looked out the window and seen that they had him handcuffed. They originally had him handcuffed.
Holy shit.
I'm guessing why they were doing their why they were doing their investigation, because he come out in his boxers and a wine glass. And I seen somebody in here says, Rich Buddy says it's appalling to accuse a good friend without knowing what happened. Yeah, I'm sure it's appalling to these women that they, their husbands went to watch a game and never came home, and when they went to go find them, they were dead. No explanation other than they froze outside.
Yeah, and it's appalling that such a good friend would not communicate with the family as to
lawyer up right away.
Hey, I understand the lawyering up, but at least expressing condolences, and you're supposed to be a part of this group.
Well, he did. I mean, for 2 days, he didn't even answer the phone. He didn't answer their text. Nothing. The guy that was there who said he left when they were all watching Jeopardy when he left. He was the 5th guy, right? He said They were all sitting on the couch watching Jeopardy when he left the house. Jordan's claiming that he was in bed asleep. So they're basically trying to keep themselves, as far away from this as possible. They weren't the last one.
Yeah, but I do agree with one of the theories that, maybe they all took, some marijuana laced with something, and
they very well
he
could
was
have.
like,
Yeah.
I can't smoke. When I smoke, I literally go to bed and I can't move at all.
No.
So I'm one of those people that cannot smoke. But if he did go straight to bed, and the other guys were like, oh my gosh, it's hot, let's go sit outside, have a couple cigarettes, and boom, it hit. In that small amount of time, or he left them outside after he smoked with them and said, dude, I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
And even if the toxicology comes back that they all had something in the system, you can't fault one guy, because who really brought it? We know whose house it is. But who really brought it? If everybody has it in their system, including the one in the house. Because if you sleep for 2 days, either you're waking up and you're going right back to it, or something's wrong.
Well, not only that though, look, when you see this video and you look out here, you see there's a car to the left and then there's a big truck to the right. You can't tell me he didn't walk past that window at some point in time and see that truck still parked outside.
Some of us are more aware than others. I will tell you that with our windows being closed and shades being closed all the time, like, unless we have somebody leaving the house and knowing they're going to come back, we'll pop a couple of shades open. Outside of that, it's too cold to have that shit open. For me, and that's just my personal, like my home, how it runs. So I can see that. We open the front door for mail, and that's it. If he really thought they went home, nope, he's not going to be paying attention to who's around, especially if he still keeps getting high.
Right. But he's supposed to be a scientist and not live that kind of lifestyle. The wife's, David Harrington's wife said he is not a drug addict. He does not do drugs. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't even smoke marijuana. So she's not sure how this happened.
Yeah.
Unless it was slipped in a drink or, something along those lines. It's very, it's hard to say until we get a toxology screen back. But here, I'm going to play this so you can see these. So you can see these cars. Because if you look to the left, there's a car. If you look right by that tree, that's one of the cars. It's covered in snow. Then if you look over here to the right, when they move the camera, you'll see there's a truck and it's covered in snow.
Flags were going off in that moment.
Right there. See that car right there covered in snow? Yeah. It was parked out there. That's one of them.
But even before that,
so that one right there was parked outside. They said that it was parked like pretty much right there.
Right, because you saw some of these victims' cars that were right here parked in front of your house, and that also kind of alerted you, right? Because that was unusual.
Yeah, we had just moved in, but that week we had never seen those cars there, and then all of a sudden that whole weekend there was cars parked right in front of our drive, and they never.
There's another one. See it? That's the truck.
Yeah.
And then if you look past that truck and into that circle, there's a circle. Do you see the guy? He looks like he's got his arms behind him, and he almost looks like he's got his hands behind his back, like he's handcuffed standing there.
Yeah.
He says that he sees him handcuffed. He said they walked out and he was handcuffed here.
Never left. And they stayed there until the police came, and even after that we found out they're deceased. But yes, those cars never left.
And obviously that was something that raised your suspicions at all. Tell me, I know you hadn't lived here for very long, right? But tell me at all about Jordan Willis, what you know about him. I mean, did you ever see him out and about? Was he friendly? Did he come by and talk to you ever?
Honestly, I have never seen him out. I never saw him or talked to him, so I cannot speak for that. Honestly, I do not know.
How about the fact that just something that is so strange, this case in general is bizarre and we don't have many answers. But the fact of the matter is 3 men were outside for 2 days on this backyard, one sitting up in a chair, two laying down on their backs, frozen to death. I mean, how do you wrap your mind around all that information?
It's a lot, honestly. I imagine it has something to do with a bad drug or something, but it's strange that how long it occurred for people for something to notice like that. If it happened on a Sunday, that's a long time, and I feel like something should have been said, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's hard to say out loud because you don't have all the information, but the fact of the matter is 3 men are now dead. Does it feel like you're getting, or your community is getting, the answers it deserves right now? That seems to be the big issue that the families have, is it just doesn't feel like they're getting closure because they're not getting answers.
Yeah, I feel for the families and that they just want to know what really happened. And I feel like if we need to know, we need to know. I'm sure answers are going to come out, but I know a lot of people are wondering what happened around here. That's for sure.
What is the talk of the town? How are people talking about it still? Because no doubt about it, the whole world is looking at this case.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are talking about this case. Like there is a lot, and there's so many different theories right now that are going around. You know,
I know, and I understand the family's need and want for answers, but what
right?
can the police tell them besides we're still waiting, we're still waiting? I mean, that toxicology takes forever. I mean, you know how my daughter died. She was shot 4 times and hit with a car. But
Yeah,
they would not sign off on the death certificate until that toxicology came back.
right.
Well, why? You know what killed? Like, it's just standard practice, and it's the hardest thing for people in law enforcement to do is to tell the family we have no answers. We have to wait, and trying to get them to understand. Like, I know waiting sucks. I know having no answers sucks. We have the same answers
Right.
you do. You know, we're waiting for that one test result so everybody can get on the same page.
Right.
So I just don't want to disrespect the families by saying, oh, they just have to wait. I understand. I really, really do. But to constantly keep going after every police department for waiting for tests that they can't rush, they have no timeline, you know?
Right.
So many. Oh, my gas is on. Okay. But just to sit there and wait, it sucks. And for a community to wait, we know how it is when we want answers. And it's just like, we don't deserve them. The family does.
Right.
We
Absolutely.
don't.
Yeah.
So let the family kind of have their peace and deal with what they're going to deal with and let it come to us when it comes.
I feel like the family should have say so on what they want out.
Right. But I think that at the same point, everything the police were telling the families, again, like Steve Goncalves,
Right.
they were coming right out and telling. It's like, you cannot, oh God.
Yeah.
You're impeding the investigation because now people know what to say and what not to say. Just stop. And that's why
But see, you know, that right there makes a huge difference because those parents, they all reacted differently. There was parents, you know, there was parents who did not want to speak with law enforcement at all, the public at all. They didn't want anything to do with the public. Then you had him, and he wanted to talk to the public all the time. He wanted to get, he gave details. He wanted to get details. He wanted information, and he was not afraid
all
to
the
go
families paid for that.
And talk about it. But whereas other parents were like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yep. And the police stopped talking to all of the parents because of Steve.
Yeah.
And that could be the same thing with this. You get one that's just talking and talking and talking, and everyone else is like, shut up, stop. We want the information. And now we're not getting anything. And I'm not trying to be mean at all.
Right.
With all due respect, whose fault is it you're not getting any information now?
And talking about it. So how do you and your friends talk about it, process it, work through this whole story?
You know, we just kind of sit down and talk about it. Sometimes we're just randomly, we'll be talking about like what could have really happened? Like how do your 3 buddies, like, you know, just you not notice them for 2 days outside in the backyard? So it's really strange for me and all of our friends. It's really hard for me to say, but I feel like it had to have been just maybe an accident. I don't know. It needs more investigation though, I think.
Ashley, hang tight. I think Ashley Banfield has a question. Go ahead, Ashley.
I do. I don't think he can hear me with an IFB, but if he can't, pass this question on. Can you ask Ashton if he saw the bodies coming out of the house? Because we learned tonight on Chris Cuomo that the father of one of the men knew that one of the men was died or frozen in a position in a lawn chair on the back porch. And I wondered if he saw gurneys come out with 3 bodies, or if he saw something unusual in the position of the bodies that were brought out of the house.
Sure. We want to know what you saw beyond those initial things that you've shared already, in specific about the bodies coming out of this house. Were you still awake at that time? Did you witness gurneys or medical examiners actually coming out with these bodies or taking them out?
So I actually did not. After that, everyone kind of cleared out. So I didn't know what had happened. So I just went to bed. I thought it was just a misunderstanding or something between a wife and a husband, but that wasn't it at all. So I went to sleep, went to work the next day. And when I was at work, I got an email or a message from a friend, sending me the picture of the article about the dead people. And I was like, oh my goodness. So I honestly did not see an ambulance actually gurney anyone out or anything.
What do you remember about the conditions during those days here in Kansas City? Obviously, these bodies were found frozen. Do you remember it?
So that's another thing. When she says, she says that she went in the window and that she's like seen them from the window. It's like she's seen outside that he was passed away on the porch. Was she talking about him sitting in the chair? Because the chair is off to the side. It's the inside edition photo. That's the only one we could see where it showed like the patio furniture.
Yeah, apparently.
But the patio furniture is off to the side. It's not by that basement window.
Yeah, and it says one sitting up in the chair. So it's like, I don't know. This is what tells me it's drugs. It's like you've got one sleeping, passed out in the house, one who is just kicked back in a chair enjoying his high, and two that freaked out. And I hate to be assumptive, but to me, in my professional career, this is what tells me it was just a bad drug.
It's tough, man.
It is.
Being cold, freezing. Obviously, you saw this woman talking on her cell phone at night, 10 o'clock at night in the winter weather. And so that raised your alarms. But what do you remember just about the temperatures or the weather around that time?
It was cold. It was really cold. I'd gone hunting that Sunday and we hunted a pond, and we actually had to put pretty much an ice prop in there to make the pond open. So, I mean, if that tells you anything, we could walk on the ice. That's how thick it was. So, I mean, it was definitely below freezing and not temperatures you want to just be outside hanging out in with no clothes.
Yeah, enough to raise red flags. Ashton, thank you very much for sharing that insight with us.
Thank you for watching.
Now tell me that isn't crazy.
I know.
That video back there, that video back there, like it shows there's the truck. And I wish we could zoom in on that to see what they're doing back there with him. Because I think that's when he's in handcuffs, when they zoom in on him, like, when he zooms in on him. I think that's when he is back there, like right here, like back there, Another thing I can't.
It's just all confused, and ever since it dropped, it's just.
I can't believe they just asked. Did you see the body bag? Did you see how they were positioned? I can't believe Ashley just asked him that. Ashley just asked the news cat, the guy to ask him, did you see their bodies? Did you see the way he was positioned? Because he was in the chair, and the body. I'm like, what the fuck?
Why would you torment someone else like that?
Why would you even ask that question, I guess? I don't know. That's kind of weird to me. Kind of odd to me, I guess. I don't know.
Fucking reporters.
It's back here. Let me see. Let me see where she's at, because she says there's shit in here.
Below freezing and not temperatures you want to just be outside hanging out in with no clothes.
Yeah, enough to raise red flags. Ashton, thank you very much for sharing that insight with us.
Thank you for watching. Go to NewsNation now.
Do you remember it being cold, freezing? Obviously, you saw this.
Did not see an ambulance actually gurney anyone out or anything.
What do you remember about the conditions during those days here in?
Sending me the picture of the article about the. Also, I went to sleep. Went to work the next day, and when I was at work, I got.
See down here though, and it says victim's brother Harrington found on the chair. Now I'm gonna go find that picture real quick and put it up from the back of the house.
Okay.
Okay, here. This is the inside edition right here. Listen to Kiwi.
She has just been going off.
Hell yeah, she is. she ain't messing around.
That's one
All
thing
right,
I
here
love.
we
I
go.
put
And
my
the
pups
camera
on kennel
angles like
time, and they sit there silently until I come get them.
this is the camera angles, like the way the backyard is what that was what they show. I'm pretty sure this is the one.
On January 7th, after watching the big game against the Los Angeles Chargers. 2 days later, their bodies were discovered right here in the backyard. A friend of one of the victims expressed outrage on Facebook. He knew people were looking for them. He read messages of people searching for him. My husband banged on his door for 20 minutes. My friend banged on his door and then busted a window and yelled and announced her presence. And still nothing from him. Nothing is adding up. Local police insist there is no evidence of foul play, and it's not being investigated as a homicide. Right. We spoke to the homeowner's lawyer, John Pacerno.
The three individuals that were his friend, they did leave his house. He went to bed and he went to sleep. When he woke up the next morning, he just assumed that they had all gone home.
Why didn't he see these three friends outside?
He didn't look in the backyard. He didn't use the back door to go out to the backyard, and he had no knowledge that they were there.
The victims' cars were reportedly still parked in the driveway. Wouldn't he notice their car and think, hey, that's weird. Why is there?
Well, their cars weren't in the driveway, but I was trying to see the back part of that picture right there. There it is. There. So there's the pictures. Now, the basement window, I believe, is right here. I want to say they said right here under the kitchen window. So there's this kitchen window. It's up here on the right side of the back door. Okay, here, let me see if I can make this big.
It's so dark in that area, though.
Yeah, it is. It is. Dang it. So there's supposedly a window that's supposedly underneath. You see like the red part of that bottom of the chair right there, like the red.
Yeah, and then the ladder for the window well.
It's no, yeah. So like there's a tiny little window right there, supposedly, that she looked outside, that she was able to see outside. Because these are the back. Let me go grab the house. Let me go grab the link for the house. So they're saying basically that he passed away in one of these chairs. So that he walked out the back door and supposedly sat in one of these chairs right here on the right-hand side, or there's two chairs over here to the left, to the far left. But so they're saying David Harrington walked out the back door, allegedly walked out the back door and sat in one of these chairs and just passed away, froze to death. That's crazy to me. Me and Ellie were talking about how cold it was that day. I want to, Ellie, if you're around, pop up.
Yeah, it'd be great because my gas is back on and I gotta go give the baby a shower.
Oh, you're fine, baby. Go ahead. If you gotta go ahead, love. It's okay.
Oh no, I'm smoking a cigarette right now, so I've got a couple minutes. Just
okay. I was gonna say you don't have to
preparing
stay up
myself.
here. I mean, if you gotta go, you gotta go. You ain't gotta worry about this. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Somebody will pop up eventually at some point in time. If not, I mean, I'll talk to I'll talk to them myself. Shit.
Girl.
You ready to roll?
Oh,
Their
my
bodies
gosh.
right there. That's why I was waiting for it to scoot over a little bit. So yeah, there's the back setup where he was supposedly found. I don't know, it just doesn't add up to me.
So I'm trying to see if that's just a bare chair sitting there, if that's the ladder to the window well. Because any lower windows, you have to have an escape emergency. So I can't really tell. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. Electro here, not saying it is carbon monoxide poisoning, but it's hard to detect, especially if they were frozen. People should be careful accusing people of murder. Yeah, I don't know about murder, but something had to have happened because the guy was in there in his house for basically 2 days. One of them was passed away right here on the outside of this chair, and then the 2 other guys were in the yard.
And if it was carbon monoxide, they would have detected that as soon as they showed up. I mean, any emergency responder wears those kind of things going into unknown death scene.
Right.
Because they're not going to put themselves at risk. I know firefighters always have the carbon monoxide detector on them. But I don't know if EMS were the only ones that went in that house.
No, they're not. The wife broke in the window because, so she went over there. She called and called and called and called. No answer. She messaged, no answer. Called, no answer. I would have went over there too. What the fuck? I would have went over there. I would have been over there before that. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no way that I would have just been like, oh, my husband didn't come home. Nope. My ass would have been over there that night. What do you think you're doing? No. See, that's what we're not going to do. Especially if they left on a good note. I would obviously, feel something was going on. There was something wrong or something was going on, 9 times out of 10, you know your significant other good enough to know what's going on. If you guys are fighting that night, then I could see a possibility of them not coming home. You know what I mean? If there's something going on, I could see, maybe you guys separating for the night. Then he goes and stays with a friend. You stay home with the kids, whatever. You know what I mean? Y'all talk the next day. I can see that happening, but that's not how that went down. He went over there with 3 friends to go have a good time, to go watch the game in a good mood. You know what I'm saying? Things were good.
Yeah, but I did hear the family say, though, that there were times to where they would just drink too much and just stay over. So if they drank too much, my next drug would be, have they maybe dabbled into the GHB, which is why they've always spent the night at their house when they drink. And, GHB knocks you out.
Yeah.
Maybe they were sitting outside and drinking and didn't realize that was kicking in faster. I don't know. I'm not accusing. It's just literally theories I'm trying to pull out.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that are just kind of like, what the hell? How does this happen? How does something like this happen? Like I said, I'm trying to look for the house layout that we had. So give me 1 second and I'll find it, and then we'll pull it up. But I'm pretty sure there's a window supposedly right here underneath of this, a basement window that she looked out. She looked out the basement window and said that she had seen one of the guys passed away on the porch, and then 2 other guys out in the yard, which I'm not even sure if she found the 2 other guys in the yard or if the police found them.
From the whole thing, it sounds like she found just one and called police, and then they found the other 2 further off in the back corner.
Now here, this is the brother. Oh, I guess we need to finish watching this first. I didn't cut y'all off. Whoop. Moved on too fast. All right, here we'll finish this one. But yeah, this is the inside edition. And they're the only ones that I've seen that have had like a full picture of the layout of the backyard, how it was. The other ones that show the house, like all the different pictures and stuff of the inside. What's up, Ellie Boo?
Hey, what's
what
up?
You doing, girl? We were chit-chat about this. So look, okay, so that window, is that we were talking, is that window under the basement window? Is that window under this kitchen window here? Or what is this window here?
I'm not sure. I feel like the basement window, yeah, it was like on the floor. It's like one of those weird like regress windows they're called, I think, or something.
Yeah, like where it's got the bottom part like a little round. But I thought it was okay. Do you see this window over here to the right over here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
like too.
Yeah.
If you
Let me look on the other.
But then she wouldn't
like
see
an
any
arrow
chairs.
One.
Right. How would she see the chairs if it was there? Yeah, that's what I mean. There was. She wouldn't be able to see the guy on the back porch, but she would be able to see the people out in the yard.
I wonder if it is behind those chairs right there. Let me look. I feel like I have it in my phone. Like
well,
an
and do you have the ad? Will you send me the layout of the house that we went over? The same one that.
Oh yeah, let me look. Oh, from apartments.com.
Yeah, if you can, will you put it in the back chat and then because I was gonna click on that and go over you know what I mean? Compare it to this.
All right, Lovey, I'm gonna jump down, give my baby a bath, and hopefully be back.
All righty, I'll see you back.
I'll be listening.
Okay,
sounds good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming up, baby.
Bye, girl.
Bye. This is the inside. Now, this is the only picture I've seen from Inside Edition, like that they have of the whole back, like not the whole backyard, but the part of it with the chairs and where they were sitting and that, you know. Now I thought he had like a patio set where they like set up outside, like the different you know what I'm saying? Like to where they would sit around outside together or hang out, you know, or build like have a fire or something. But that's not.
I wonder if he was like right in that chair. I mean, right by the door or something, you know.
There's one right there. Yes, it's like right there. You see it?
Yeah.
I wish there was a way to zoom in even more, but there's not.
I know. I just zoomed on like my screen, but it just looks like there's snow, you know, on it.
Oh, Julie, 5 memberships. If you guys got one, thank you, Julie. I appreciate you supporting the Hive, love. If you guys got one, please make sure you tell her thank you. That's really sweet of you guys. I appreciate that. What were you saying, baby? I didn't mean to cut you off. I wanted to make sure I tell her thank you before it rotated away.
Oh, no, nothing. I don't even know. I was just looking to see where I need to find that apartments.com. Like, let me look at that for that.
Well, here, Cheesy 63 Mary says, with Jordan inside for 2 days, he probably fell asleep all that time. His friends going outside, maybe for a smoke, also passing out. It's sad all the way around. Accidental deaths from drug usage, or drinking shit.
Something
laced. Yeah.
I think that's what happened. Even if he like had the same whatever, like he could have literally like passed out on the couch for like a whole day. You know what I mean? And he might have had a higher tolerance where they might have like passed out and died out there because of the cold and because of who knows, you know? It could have been like a compound thing between the two things, between drugs and hypothermia, maybe like a contributing factor, you know? Yeah, there's no proof there were. It's weird that so like the fifth guy came forward and now he also has like a lawyer. I don't know. It's weird how everybody's lawyering up, but I guess they're just that's what they do, you know.
Yeah.
Were discovered right here in the backyard. A friend of one of the victims.
It just moved all the way over. Dang it. Hold on.
Later, their bodies were discovered right here.
Now, see that bottom part right there looks to me like the basement.
Yeah.
Like that little window thing. You see it?
Yeah.
Doesn't
I mean,
that
that's
look
where
like it's you?
isn't that where she went? Let me seem to like.
Yeah, that's why I was like, we need to find the layout of that house that we were looking at. If you have the link, pop it back here.
Yeah.
But
Let me go get it.
To compare it, because I'm pretty sure that window that they're talking about that she was looking out of would have been right here on the house. You know, like this is so strange.
So strange.
Oops. Here in the backyard, a friend of one of the victims expressed outrage on Facebook. He knew people were looking for them. He read messages of people searching for him. My husband banged on his door for 20 minutes. My friend banged on his door and then busted a window and yelled and announced her presence. And still nothing from him? Nothing.
Beat on the door. Broke the fuck in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he still didn't say a goddamn word. Didn't say anything. But then the cops show up and he comes out with in his boxers and an empty wine glass. Like, what? It's all so awkward. It's all very strange. I guess not, Felicia. I mean, apparently no. Apparently he didn't work for 2 days. He says he didn't even look outside for 2 days. Shit, he didn't do anything for 2 days. He just was like apparently just sleeping in his room.
Yeah, which is like a possibility that he slept for like a good amount of time, and like just got up to like eat, do whatever and go to the bathroom. But
well, yeah, especially if he did some got shit that was,
Well, here it is. Here's like the
But it is kind of awkward that he slept, and it is kind of odd that he slept that long. That's a long fucking time to not, especially the other guy, the number victim. What is it? They said number 5. The other guy, the friend number 5 was there. He said that he even messaged him the next day and he didn't get any answers.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Thing is adding up. Local police insist there is no evidence of foul play, and it's not being investigated as a homicide. Right. We spoke to the homeowner's lawyer, John Pacerno.
The 3 individuals that were his friend, they did leave his house. He went to bed and he went to sleep. When he woke up the next morning, he just assumed that they had all gone home.
Why didn't he see these 3 friends outside?
He didn't look in the backyard. He didn't use the back door to go out to the backyard, and he had no knowledge that they were there.
The victim's car.
But then you go back to the neighbor who recorded him, and you can see, the truck parked right in front of the damn house. Girl.
Cars were reportedly still parked in the driveway. Wouldn't he notice their car and think, hey, that's weird. Why is their car here?
I know it's been reported that they were in the driveway. That's incorrect. They were on the street. He did not notice them.
Jonathan Price's brother, Ricky, is one of the victims. Jonathan, do you suspect foul play?
Yes.
What do you think happened?
There's no way that it would be anything other than, something sinister.
The results of the autopsies are pending.
Temperatures dropped into the teens during the 2 days the men were missing.
They didn't drop into the teens. She's lying. The Inside Edition. We looked it up.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was just going to ask you when you looked it up, what did it say when we were looking?
It was like low 32, high 42 for that day, and even into the next day. It didn't really cool down until later on in that week, and they were found on Tuesday. Like Thursday, It got progressively cooler until like next weekend. It was like in the really cold, but it wasn't in the teens. Like the low was like 32 and the high was 42 that day. So that's not the teens. That's like 20 degrees colder than the teens,
Who said that? Somebody in chat?
The Inside Edition lady just said that.
Oh, she said that too in the teens. Yeah, I thought somebody else said it in the chat too. I'm like, we know she got misinformation, but I just didn't know if somebody else back in here said it too. You know what I mean? Okay, so here's the apartment thing. Yes. Okay, here. This is what it is.
Oh, did you hear
so we go back and look through this. What,
They
baby?
think that
I'm
they
sorry.
moved them. Chronicle said that they think that they moved the cars because remember early on there was like talk about it being there was like both on the street or on the driveway. I guess it's hard to
Right.
tell, but they might have like he might have moved them. Who knows? And there's also talk of the dogs were there and then they're not there. So how would he have like brought the dogs to his dad's house, you know, or whatever? Who knows? It's hard to. Yeah, these are the pictures though. I know the one that she went in, the basement one. There's a wind chill factor, but I looked skip to Malou. It wasn't like what the wind chill wasn't like. It wasn't a huge wind chill also that night because it said like I looked at that. It said, you know, how it say like 32, but feels like 2. It wasn't like anything like that until the next weekend. It got really cold like that.
It's already filled, honeybees. Honeycomb, it's already filled. So here, hold on. These doors, right here, these doors go to that, go right out to those chairs.
Oh yeah. The patio.
So
Yeah, you can see outside.
Yes, those chairs were sitting there. Look.
Yeah. Yep.
Share this tab right here. The door is right there. You know what I mean? The chairs are right in front of that door.
Yeah. Like, how could he not? I mean, if he was, who knows where he fell asleep? And if he fell asleep in the living room, like, how could he not, you know? Unless there's like curtains up there. You see, there's a curtain rod. Maybe there's no, you know, this is like an apartments.com, maybe with nothing in it kind of picture a little.
Right.
I mean, he could have had like he could have like curtains on there and not seen out there too, Jordan, you know.
All right, so here's the 2 windows to the back, right? And the door.
Yeah. It goes down to the basement even. There's pictures of the basement in this.
Yes, because then she goes down. Hold on. She goes downstairs.
Yeah. The window isn't there. I think it's the next picture. There's like a picture of the window where she goes in.
Right here.
Oh, see? That was if you go back, you see that high window?
Yeah, right here to the left. See, it's got a little piece of wood in it?
Yeah.
Yes, that window right there.
Yeah.
And it would be across the steps right here. See the steps right there? It would be right across from the steps right there.
Yeah.
Because there's, you know, shower curtain door. See the shower curtain back here?
Yeah.
So that window would be right there by the windows. You know what I mean?
And that, yeah.
Upstairs. Like it's, sorry, I know I probably sound.
No, I know.
I know what I'm saying, but.
No, I know you understand it because you like if you go all the way up.
Yes, and then see like out here, where's that window at though? See what I mean? Where's that little baby window at? I can't find it out here.
Because it's like way down under the. I think like I saw.
It has one of those little things. Yeah, it's got one of the little things, right? That's what I thought. So is it under this window right here, or is it under the window over here?
You see how like downstairs, like how you said there's stairs, like there's a wall. Like go back to the other picture of the thing because there's a wall. You see, there's a wall right here. See, there's a wall right there.
Yeah. Yep.
And then there's a thing. So that could be the wall, like up. You know what I mean? All the way up that box area. That might be
where like we had. You know what? We need ASGAT.
Yeah.
We need somebody to build us a model of this house.
I know, make it freaky. Yeah. I think you see right under that window, like the door, the window, right down there. Like you only get to see a little bit of it because it's like part subterranean, the window, and it's part terranean, you know, where you can see out. Let's see if you could zoom in. Like, I feel like you can. I don't know. And there's that. Yeah. And those are the windows where you said that he could look out. I think, right? Those doors right there. Yep.
Yeah.
The other side of the
Doors
doors.
right
Yeah.
there. And then there's that little bitty. Now see under the kitchen window, under that little kitchen window right there is where they say the little that little basement window is. Like, it's so small though, I guess unless you turn around and video it, you're not gonna see it.
Yeah, it's very like it's like a
Because there's the two windows to the back here, right? What are these two windows to back here?
let me look.
All the way in the back.
Yeah, they said the wall opposite to the garage. So the garage is probably on the other side of that, all the way in the front, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like right there under that window with the two next to the door, right down in there is where that window is. Like down, like there's like it's just we can't see it because of the depth, like the angle, I feel like.
Yeah, Cap just says there's only one side of the house not shown on the real estate website, so it's got to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we didn't find anything else that even. Let's see here. We're about to play this real fast. This is the brother. Pretty sure.
And there's just no.
Yeah.
And the authorities aren't saying anything. I respect the authorities doing things the right way. But according to one of the guys involved here, his attorney, they don't expect foul play. Then why don't you give the family some answers? So these three men in Kansas City, you know the story. They were found frozen to death in their buddy's backyard in a way that we haven't heard before, by the way, which you're going to hear in a moment. But no gunshot, no stab wound, no ligature, meaning nobody had strangled them, apparently. Okay? So they send it out for an autopsy and toxicology. They say 8 weeks. 8 weeks. You can't bury, you can't mourn, you can't know.
8 weeks.
Yeah, that's like what they say is like sometimes it's even longer, you know. Toxicology just takes that long. I don't know why. 6 to 8 weeks, they always say, you know. But it's already been like it happened on January 7th, so coming up on like almost 3.5 weeks or so.
Yeah, it's just
could be a couple of weeks away. You could see the family is just starting to like get really upset, annoyed with this all because they just don't think, you know.
Right.
I feel like it's going to be some kind of weird drug thing, you know. It has to be for all of them, you know.
Yeah, I think it's going to turn out to be something like that, or you know what I'm saying? Something happened, and you know they
or something
were
even, yeah.
You know, they were smoking or got a joint or something, and it was laced with something, you know.
Yeah, I've heard so many people in comments like mention that like throughout this, and like your comments and other about this case. Like everybody has said that they've heard somebody or known somebody that has had like a laced fentanyl, like, you know, marijuana or anything. It could have been anything that was laced with it.
Yeah, see, you got to be careful what you're getting out here, who you're fucking with, you know, what you're buying and shit on the streets. You never know what the fuck can be in it. You never know what people are putting in their shit to make it weigh or whatever, you know? You really don't.
Yeah, that's scary. I mean, now more than ever, even, you know,
Yeah, hell yeah.
because of like that, you know, how small amount you need of it to like die. It's terrible.
Right.
See, literally, Jameson said she knows someone that passed from a lace joint. Yeah, and then Butter, one of the Pawn Star, you know that show Pawn Stars?
Yeah.
The kid, he died last week. Oh, it was laced. Same thing. It was laced weed.
Wow.
His kid, he's like young kid, you know, 20. I don't know if he's maybe 20s or 30s. Like he's younger.
Man.
I didn't know that's what it was. Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's like an epidemic at this point, just because it's such a small amount is needed, you know?
Right.
Families want answers. So we keep doing the story. And not to hype about it, because we can only know what is shown. All right? The family knows what these guys were about and what they were doing and who this friend was to them. Let's bring in the brother of Ricky Johnson, one of the deceased. We had his father on last week. Jonathan Price is his name. He joins us now. Jonathan, I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you, Chris.
So how's the family holding up with the unknown?
It's the same every day, with, you know, the lack of answers, you know, the inability to really truly mourn without any form of cause. It's just very difficult. I don't think I'll ever move on until, I mean, really, I'll never move on, but especially not knowing what happened to my brother. And I'm not one of these people that tries to speculate and stuff like that, but I want ideas out there. I want to be involved more. You know, my mother, Ricky's father, they want to be involved more, and we're just not getting answers from anybody, even the people that claim they're doing the investigation.
So is it true that you guys have been trying to get the police to tell you what's happening and that they are not in communication with you?
That's correct.
Is there any reason, is there some protocol in Kansas City I'm not aware of where they're not allowed to interface with the families of victims of crimes? Because usually that's like the main interface.
Yes, and you would think so, you know, especially with something like this. And I'm not saying there was or was not a crime, but if you immediately suspect no foul play, then you should have a story. You should have something to tell the families. And for no one to hear anything, that, you know, that doesn't make any sense. And I think that's one of the main reasons why this is getting so big.
So two things that you've said that I haven't heard before. One, you seem to know something about where these men were found that I haven't heard. What information do you have about specifically where they were in the backyard and how they were situated?
Well, I don't have firsthand knowledge, but I have heard, because as being a brother, I'm looking at everything. I'm looking at everything anybody posts, whether it's, you know, information I feel is useful or information I don't feel is useful. But information I did find.
Well, you also know who found them,
was,
right? I mean, they were found by you know, an extended family member. So you guys are in contact. So go ahead, tell the audience.
Yeah. So I believe David was found in a lawn chair on the back porch, rather than all three laying flat, which definitely paints a picture we did not have from the very beginning. And you know, it definitely brings up some questions that you would have, you know, especially with somebody that, I don't care who you are, where you live, if it's snowing outside, you're looking at how bad it's getting.
Right. It was snowing, but how cold? What was the temps, Ellie?
It was like only like 32 low, 40, like it wasn't that cold. It was like 42 high, 32 low at night. So it could be snowing because that's like, you know, freezing temperature, but it wasn't like, you know, in the like how it was the week after when everything started, like the Arctic freeze started, you know, around the country. That started like the week after. So it wasn't like cold enough to like just die of hypothermia, in my opinion, unless, you know, you passed out outside.
Right.
One guy didn't have a jacket on, they said. Did you hear that part?
Yeah, and I can't sit and just say, oh yeah, they just walked outside and sat down and just passed away. It's not.
No.
No,
You
it's
just
not. I
You
don't
just don't
see
fall
that.
asleep outside in the cold, like unless you're forced to. You know, if you pass out, and then it could be a contributing factor, the cold, but who knows, you know, just for them to, yeah.
You know,
If I was his brother, oh my, like I'm at this family, they just, if we're all like, what had happened? Could you believe if this was like your family member, like how frustrating this must be for them in the midst of grieving to try to have to like figure out what happened to them with no answers like this. It must be super frustrating. You know?
Yeah. All right, I'm going to push play, baby. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially if you have any type of responsibilities of leaving your house in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't matter if you work from home, you got to leave sometime. And from his lawyer, we don't know if he left or not, because he started out saying that he left the home sporadically throughout the day. And then another one where he was home for 50 hours with no leaving the house
and they had
or looking out a window.
And there were cars outside in front. And you have a feeling that an intoxicant was involved, and you know your brother, and this is not a judgment thing. I don't care how he liked to spend his free time. It's not what this is about. You believe that the answer here lies in something that your brother didn't know he was taking.
Yes, absolutely. You know, I don't even speculate on what my brother has or has not done in the past, because that wouldn't be firsthand knowledge of mine either. I just know that my brother was a good man. He loved his daughters to death. He absolutely had future plans to be a father to them for the rest of their lives, and he would not jeopardize that. So it just doesn't make any sense.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of News Nation's fact-driven coverage.
He knows his brother, you know? Like if it happened to my sister, I'd be like, there's no way my sister would have like had any kind of drugs. You know what I mean? I guess sometimes like,
right.
You
and
know,
that's
like
he's like, no, my brother did not have drugs. That's not how this went down.
Yeah, see, like if it was my sister or something, I'd be like, no way, no way, no way, because I would know her. Do you know what I mean? Like she just doesn't even smoke pot or anything. Do you know what I mean? So it would be like out of the norm. And if he had like, you know, something like this, like he did, like he thinks what we think, like it was something beyond his knowledge that he didn't know about, which just sucks, you know?
Yeah.
Fucking, you know. I mean, it had to be something laced. Or like the weird.
To walk outside. So so Jordan gets up and goes to bed. Guy number 5 says he left the house and they were watching Jeopardy on the couch. So they go from watching Jeopardy on the couch to all 3 getting up, walking out the back door. One guy sits in the chair and the other 2 guys go out in the middle of the yard and just lay down and die. What?
Yeah. Unless like one guy was, I feel like with David is I think the one that was found near the closest to the door. If anything, like maybe they all went out to smoke a joint and David was on his way back and just like fell into the chair. I thought he might have like, if they found whoever they found on the porch originally, I was like, they maybe were trying to get back in and maybe they saw their other, you know, he saw his other 2 friends fall down. possibly. You know what I mean? If it happened fast, like we're thinking, which happens with, certain drugs that people just fall out. We saw like that cop, how she just all of a sudden she was standing and the next minute she was on the floor, like it might happen, but he might have been on his way back in and just he's like, whoa, let me sit down, like found, just fell into a chair or something, like that's a possibility. I don't know, just in my head, if they were smoking a joint out there, because they didn't have a jacket on it. It wasn't like, or like another thing that people are saying, like you get super duper hot when you take that, when you start, have that drug. And if it's too much, you get hot. So maybe they went outside, like, let's go get some air. That could have been something too, because he didn't have a jacket on. Like, even if he was going to smoke a joint, it was like 30 degrees, I would have a jacket on, but who knows? Like some people are just cold-blooded,
Yeah.
warm-blooded, whatever it is, that make them like able to do that. Because I see, you see people like that. Remember, like when we were watching like the Idaho food truck, it was freezing and there was like kids in shorts that day,
Yeah, you're right.
Just a mystery though. I mean, it could be either one, that they got really hot and went outside, or they were outside and just fell down from like some kind of laced something. I feel like those are the only two. Like they didn't die just of hypothermia, all three of them. I remember when you started covering this before anyone, and I remember like hearing like, how could that be? That's just like an anomaly. Like it's the probability of three people just in a backyard dying of hypothermia just doesn't make any, it's not possible. Like in the woods, if they were like camping or something and stuck there, without shelter, I mean, it just doesn't make sense, Has to be something else involved, like another piece of the puzzle, a piece of the whole thing that would be, there's a first time for everything, but three people, like that would just be like a like the statistical anomaly of it. It's not possible, I don't feel like, unless they were like in the middle of the woods and they were like, it was much colder, and there has to be like a lot of other factors, like they were able to get out, unless they were incapacitated from drugs and couldn't move. That's the only thing that would make sense. There's a way, Texas, that you could see, there's like this little window that's almost like, my friend had a window in her basement and you could only see out such a small crack of it. It's like the whole thing is almost subterranean. The whole window is like only a slit of it is like above, where you could see out like almost like right above the patio level or something. And it's something like that where you have to see it. I think they're called regress windows. Look it up. We were looking them up and you could see them. Yeah, why is the center chair in the middle? They're probably just, because it's winter, they probably just have them all in an area underneath like a porch that they stay, I don't know. It's like a rental too, so who knows with the chairs,
Oh yeah. See
covered right here in the backyard. A friend.
That it goes too fast though, but look right there. And I feel like, see that little bottom piece right there? I feel like that's where like that window's at.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I could be wrong, and I'm sure I probably am. I don't know the layout of the house that well, but it seems like it's right here. And she looked out, and it's like not instantly on the back patio, but she looked out and seen the guy like on
that would be the only way. Like any of those windows, think about it, this front one. It's the only window where you'd be able to see that from, right? Like any other window. Yeah.
When she turned around to walk out, she possibly seen him sitting in the chair, but I mean, unless she opened up the back door and was like, Dave, you know what I mean? Or was like hollering at him.
Yeah. And just maybe she saw him slumped over and he could tell, probably.
Right.
That he wasn't just like sleeping outside on, It's so sad. Oh my God, she must have freaked out. Egress, somebody said. Yep. What'd I call it? Egress? Regress? Yeah, those windows, they're like, my friend had one growing up. I never had a basement, but my friend did, and it's like they're really kind of cool because you can only see out like a little teeny portion of the window. That's why it's hard for us to see it, you know?
Right.
Yeah, the real estate pictures are curtainless. Exactly, Julie. Because then, like, I'm sure he didn't look out, you know? He probably has curtains up where he couldn't just see out that whole, you know, that big window that we were looking at that goes right out to the, not the door, which is, you know, goes right out to the porch. Like, how could he not see out there? But if there's like a huge curtain, and like some guys get those, like, I don't know, not just guys, but people like get those blackout curtains so they could just like have everything could be dark. But that might be in his bedroom more, you know? Do they know for a fact that he was in the chair? I don't know. I don't know if it's a fact. I feel like it's been this rumor, and then the brother said it yesterday, right? In the interview, right? Is that how Queen?
Yep.
Yeah.
Layla, thank you for becoming a new member, love. Yeah, they said it I believe last night, but here's this. This is the other, this was like, I think 12 hours ago or something. This is the last one they did, and it says, the fifth person at Kansas City home where 3 friends were found passed. They give out his, like, they bring his name out and shit too. Hold on.
The city. Days after going over there to watch the Chiefs game, the controversy just keeps growing. With family members of the 3 guys furious as everyone awaits the toxicology reports. The living friend, Jordan Willis, whose home they'd gone to, never contacted police, didn't really contact anyone, says he didn't know 3 friends were dead, frozen in the backyard for 2 days. Yet the authorities say there were no signs of foul play. Now it turns out there was a 5th friend there that night. That guy identified as Alex Weimer, who was a childhood friend of the 3 men. Says he got to the home at about 7 p.m., left around midnight, when he claims the 4 men were still awake watching an episode of Jeopardy. Now, that contradicted statements made by Jordan Willis's attorney.
See what I mean?
Yep.
And the attorney, the more the attorney talks, the more he fucking...
Because he contradicted himself. He said one thing and then said the complete opposite.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like he's told different stories and shit. Maybe somebody will clip together all the different things he said, because he's got like, man, he's said like 3 or 4 different things so far. Yeah.
Yeah. Like about the messages, about him walking them to the door and then saying no, like he fell asleep on the couch and then he was upstairs. Like he had all these different things to say.
Yeah, like anywhere but where those 3 were found.
Yeah.
Man, come on.
Yeah, digging a hole for his client for sure. Yeah, other people have had these windows. Somebody said they're the same as the JonBenet basement.
Yeah, it is the basement window. That's what I said yesterday. It's like the same as the basement window that she was in. That's what I was trying to describe it for anybody that knew the case. There's like where you could like jump down in it if you really needed to, you know?
Yeah. They have like this little like thing around it.
Yeah, like a little metal hideaway thing.
Who said last week he, meaning Willis, was asleep. He was asleep on the couch. The last memory he has is of leaving the front door. He doesn't know what happened with them until when the police came Tuesday night to his house. Now he's changed his statement, now claiming his client went to sleep while the friends continued to hang out.
When he would have people over his house sometimes, as people do, they get tired. There are people who are very close to you, and then you feel comfortable going to bed and allowing them to leave whenever they want to leave.
Now, the families of the 3 men, 38-year-old Ricky Johnson, 37-year-old David Harrington, and 36-year-old Clayton McGeeney, are furious that this new revelation has led to no updates in the case.
Last time we saw him, they were leaving the house, but he didn't know that they had left, so that doesn't make much sense.
I think a lot of people know more than they're saying.
You can't tell me he didn't know those flies were back there in the backyard.
How do you not know there's 3 dead bodies in the back porch?
Meanwhile, Willis's family is standing with him. His father defending his son in a statement. He would never in a million years do anything. These were all good friends of his. These were all people he went to school with. He took them to a football game the day before. Now, we are still awaiting the toxicology reports, which could shed a lot of light on exactly what happened. Joining us now is Joseph Scott Morgan, who is one of the leading experts on the coroner system in the United States. He's been following.
Oh, yay. I love him.
I was going to say, I know I do too. People say he's boring, but I love him. I really do.
Yeah, he's always has interesting stuff to say, you know?
I know. I think he does too. Here we go.
Following the story closely. Thanks a lot for coming on the program. Appreciate it. All right, so what exactly are we going to learn from this toxicology report?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Dan. The reality is this. They're going to do what's referred to as a qualitative finding, which means they're going to identify whatever substances were in these gentlemen's systems collectively. And it's kind of referred to as a standard panel that we run at autopsy. We're looking for everything from opioids, cannabinoids, benzos, cocaine metabolite, all these other things. And of course, the big one out there that everybody's talking about, of course, is fentanyl. And those are all going to be, they'll be qualified. And then they'll do a quantitative result, and that's what's taking so long at this point in time, I think, relative to the toxicological findings. They will, every drug out there, even some that you might be surprised about, has a therapeutic level. That is, those drugs that we can take and we're not going to die from them or slip into a coma. They're looking for these levels to see if they reached levels of lethality, if in fact there is anything in their collective systems. Now, my big issue with this case, Dan, is that I don't think there were any lightning strikes that day. I don't think that there's any trauma. So we can't have people that just 3 adult males, relatively healthy from what we know, they just don't spontaneously fall over dead in this close proximity to one another. So I have to think that there's some kind of agent at work here in their system.
Yeah, I mean, all in all.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah,
everything he's saying. Yeah. It's the only thing that makes sense, you know?
I'm going to come in real quick in the back chat and drop this. Here we go.
System.
Right.
My big thing here is how carefully did they examine the scene? I hope that any kind of drinking containers, vessels, anything that were outside with those remains, that they were collected, that they are being analyzed. It's not just the bodies alone. And anything within that house. I don't know if the cops have served a search warrant on this residence to collect anything that may have been in there, because look, we have to come to an agreement that this is not normal, that this is abnormal. It's an outlier.
Right. And there's also no way this could be alcohol. All right. There's no way 3 guys all die of alcohol poisoning and all freeze in the same area out. There's just no way. Right?
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. Unless you're talking about something like bathtub gin, all right? And we know that that's not the case, where it would be so toxic that it would take them to their knees. So the answer lies elsewhere, and that's what's so important here. And one other thing to go along with relative to the gentleman that slept for 48 hours, did he ingest something and may not have known about it, because he's lost 2 days here we're talking about, if not more than that. So that's going to be key as well. I doubt that they drew blood on that guy, though.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're still going to have to wait a couple weeks, apparently, before the results come in. They said something like 8 weeks. Joseph Scott Morgan, thank you so much for coming on the show. Appreciate it.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah, see, there's a whole lot. Happy life. How are you?
Yeah. Hey.
Can you hear me?
I don't know. Am I doing it right? We hear you.
Yeah,
Can you
if
hear
you can
me?
hear me, yeah, we can hear you, but can you hear me?
I can fucking hear you.
Okay, got it.
All right. That's good. I want to tell a little story after you're done playing this. She finished that little clip.
Yeah, the clip's finished. Go ahead and yeah.
Okay, so let me break this down. I don't have a whole lot of voice, so I'm trying the best I can here, and I have no clue how to do this. So,
well, what do you
this
need to
is
do,
about
baby? I mean, you're talking
20
just fine.
years
So
ago.
you're up here. Yeah, you're on panel, so you're talking to us just fine, which means you're up here with us on. All you got to do is chit chat with us. That's it. Unless you're trying to share your screen. Are you trying to show something?
No.
Oh,
I'm just
okay,
telling
okay.
you a
Gotcha.
personal story.
Oh, well, yeah.
So, me and some of my homegirls, we were trying to have a great night. This is probably 20 some years ago, so y'all cannot judge me or whatever. Anyways, we were very into a concert that we were going to, and we all did some Molly. The way we did it is we put the Molly into our bottles of water, and it's powdered. Back then, it was dumped in each bottle of water exactly the same. You drink the bottle of water, you're not tasting any type of like an aspirin or a drug type taste or anything like that. But once that bottle of water is empty, you're already enjoying yourself to the max, like stimulation wise. But the reason why everybody says you need to drink a lot of fluids
cut out, or
if
is
you're
it
going
me?
to have a Molly night, because your internal temperature goes sky high.
Yeah.
Questions?
Are you cutting? Is she cutting in and out for you, or is it me?
Yeah, a little
It's
bit.
probably
Oh.
me.
Oh, okay. I hear you. I hear you now.
Is
Sorry.
it because I have headphones on, maybe?
Oh no, I hear you now. Yeah.
Anyways, any questions?
You're just talking about like ecstasy, how you get like it overheats you.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've, experienced that hot feeling just the same.
Yeah, you're supposed to drink a lot of water, right? Or something. But I don't know. This is like something that maybe like took them out. Like what Joseph Scott Morgan was just saying, that makes sense. Like what I was, if Jordan did take it, there is a possibility, like if he was outside, he would have died.
Exactly.
Yeah. He could have just passed out for 2 days and been like, what the hell, But maybe he's the one that gave it to them, and he might have even had a higher tolerance. And if they were inside,
And
maybe
then
they
you
would
take
have lived.
into effect, you have to remember, some people can drink on Molly. I cannot. I can smoke, my weed on Molly, but I could never drink alcohol on Molly. Some people do.
Yeah.
This is just my experience, y'all, and it's been a long ass time, but I'm just letting you know that there are a lot of things that heat you up to the point where you will go out in the snow, cold, freezing, and not have your coats and stuff on because you're trying to breathe. You're trying to get that.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with like what they think it could be, like that thing that it gets you. Yeah, they say you get super duper, super hot. With ecstasy, I don't. I mean, I know you're supposed to drink a lot of water, but I remember even seeing like this thing, like it was like on like 60 Minutes or something, like years and years ago, about like in Germany they use like ecstasy for like depression, like, and this like couple
Pilots in
Pilots?
war use MDMA.
Oh yeah. Yeah, see that's MDMA. Yeah, this like couple was going through like counseling using it with this woman like somewhere like in San Francisco, like in I don't know. But it was like so interesting because they were he was dying and he had like a terminal, cancer, and he knew he was. So they processed the grief
You
using
literally feel like
ecstasy.
you need to get air. Like, I can't explain that aspect of it more.
Because you get so hot. Yeah, that could happen with like people even said with like, the the other ones, like you get super hot. Like that could have been, they could have just went outside, even just smoke a cigarette. All of them, maybe. Who knows? Even after ingesting whatever they did, it's hard to tell. I guess they'll know.
Yeah, it is very hard to tell. Very hard to know.
They're gonna know
And
by
I
like
just,
what.
like I said, I just wanted to come up and explain something that I had as a life experience. I mean, I survived and all, but I suppose in the wrong amounts, of course. And if it was their first time ever doing something like that.
Yeah, the family says they're not into drugs, so I don't know. I really, you know what I mean? I don't know if it was something that they hid from them and only did during football games. I don't know if it's something they didn't do at all. You know what I mean? They said they weren't smokers. They didn't.
Yeah, and it could have been brought up to them, at that moment.
Yeah. Never really know. I mean, until we get the toxology screens back, I think it's going to be up in the air for now.
Absolutely agree, Queen. Okay, I'm going to hop off here because it's really hard for me to hear all the different voices and delays. But thank you so much, guys, for letting me speak whatever I had to say.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate you coming up, baby. So here's this. So this is new. I haven't seen this, and I haven't seen anybody sharing this. I haven't seen anybody putting these out or up or anything like that. So we're gonna go ahead and do it because I want to go over these real fast. This is another website here. Here's Street View. Let's see here. This is how they had it set up, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, in Redfin.
Yeah, so, and it's different, you know what I'm saying? Different
pictures, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that shows like the whole yard. Like that was.
Yeah, that shows like a picture of like the whole front part.
Yeah, I'm trying to zoom. Why can't I zoom?
Yeah, here. I'll leave it up for those who want to zoom.
Yeah, see, is that like a fence?
Zoom, take a picture, whatever. You know what I mean? So you can take a picture of it.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Zoom in and take a picture of it for later. No, Sticky, I appreciate it. Thank you, baby. It's definitely interesting, that's for sure. So here's the front. This is where they were knocking at and shit. It's a little easier to...
Yeah, because there's like pictures up of like curtains and stuff.
Right. Like especially the basement setup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, here. So that is the backyard. That is the door in the backyard.
Yep. Right there. Yep. There's a door.
Okay. Oh, wow. Look at this. This shows a whole different view. Look at that. There's the window, but look at the doors back there. You see them?
Yeah.
You can see that straight through. I'm glad they put this up because you can see those doors right there in this window right here.
There's like curtains up though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, like this is you see where the door's at?
Yeah.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought it was.
It's all like forward. Yeah. It's like the whole
you know
back
what? I
end.
bet those are the curtains that we couldn't see. You know what I mean? Like straight through.
Yeah, the rod. Yeah.
That's really the window, right?
Yep. It's like probably a sliding glass door, maybe.
Well, yeah, because look, here's this. No, the sliding glass door isn't.
The other one is the one on the right. In the kitchen.
See right here. Those got to be the windows.
Yeah.
The windows that we said.
Oh, those are just windows. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The back windows.
A big house.
It's the stinking backyard at again.
Oh,
See right here. There's that view.
Yeah.
That's the view right there. That's windows.
Yeah.
Not the doors are actually like along the
on
part.
that wall right there that you can't see. Yeah.
Yes, right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Got it. Such a big house.
It
I can't
is.
believe he
It's
lived there by
beautiful, too.
himself.
I like it. I think it's really pretty.
I like it
honestly.
too. The kitchen is really nice.
And then you look out. So you go to the kitchen sink and you look out over your backyard.
Yeah.
Like,
boom. Yeah, right there. I mean,
how do you miss anything? That's, you know?
Yeah. Because you could see the whole yard, it looks like a lot of it. I mean, he had to eat for 2 days, you know? Like, even if he went over the refrigerator and just, like, ate something, you know? I always look out windows. I don't know.
Now this right here. Okay, so there's a set of windows to the left, a set of windows in front of us, and then the doors to the right. See it?
Yeah. Yep. It's like a little alcove. Yep. Yep. It's a cool room.
Wow, this is a whole different. This like looks different to me now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You kind of got a feel for the whole setup now.
Yeah, for sure. And don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful house, and you know what I'm saying. It sucks that these guys passed away out here. Because look, you can see where you know what I'm saying, the patio furniture, right there.
Right there, yeah. I guess the basement's right down underneath us. Yeah. I like those sinks, those bowl sinks like that.
Yeah, those are pretty. I like them too. Yeah, see, I mean, I'm just not convinced he didn't get up out of bed for 2 fucking days and go, that's pretty too, with the sink there. And not go, like, get up to go walk past
downstairs.
the window. Yeah, go get a drink or something to eat, you know. What the hell is this? Oh, must be some craft thing or a desk or something.
Oh, yeah. That is some kind of, maybe that's like his office, you know?
Very well could have been. Here's this. Here's the basement.
Yeah.
What we were looking for. Okay. There's that window right there.
Yep. Boom, right there. Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there's a way to like zoom in on this bad boy. No. Dang it.
You take like a screenshot and then blow it up. I could do that.
Yeah.
Send it to you.
Yeah, do that.
Okay, I just did that.
Yeah, Dickie. Okay, here's the back porch part. Here's the other part of it. Yeah, see, I'm not seeing the window still down here. Like, look at that trash. You see that trash can? It's not down there. It's not underneath that kitchen part then. Yeah, see, Duke, lay down, buddy.
I know. Willow's pacing
He's
right now, too.
bouncing around, shaking off, and you know what I'm saying? You hear him over here shaking around, messing around.
I don't hear him. Like, oh, you hear Willow, though, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I just heard her. He's starting his shit, too. What? He was over here sneezing and, letting me know he's got to go out. Hold on one sec.
Funny. Yeah, I wonder when the three, a timeline of when the three had last communications and Jordan's phone calls. Oh, basement half windows usually face the east for light. Okay, where is the? It's hard to tell which way is east. This photo. I feel it's like under. See, this has like different patio furniture outside this version. It was like 32 degrees, like the low that night. Daily Meander. That's a good name. The basement window, Indy says, is on the brick part, not the vinyl part. Let me see. I don't think you can see it in this picture though. So Chaos says that window that we see is not an egress window. It's just probably like one of those like, oops, sorry, Willow. She's freaking out. She lost her ball under the couch again. Like the one that my neighbors, it was just like it looked like this on the inside, those square windows where you can only see, like part of it is like blocked and part of it goes out to like you only could see like a sliver usually to the outside.
Yeah, see. Hold on, Bobby said, I thought at the beginning they said after she broke into the house, she discovered the one body in the chair by looking through the door. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought they said the window.
I think a window because there's no door that looks out in the basement. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Unless she went upstairs. No, I think she was only in the basement. And that's why she was under the dining nook. Okay. Yeah. That's what I think. Like right under that little, yep, over there. You see where that little, like, I think it's under, like, where we were pointing before, like, so that right where that little,
here?
Yeah. Right?
Next to that blue trash deal or whatever it looks like.
Yeah, maybe over there.
I wish there was a way to move over there to go, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I know.
To move it around to go see, dang it. Because no matter what route we go, we can't see that stinker.
Oh, Chaos said it has to be the size where an average sized person can easily leave the home, though. Side door to patio. What's the difference? Okay.
Right.
Kiwi now. It's like a different view. I don't think she looked out the patio doors because that means she went upstairs. I don't think she walked upstairs, Danny. I think she saw, right? And I thought she only saw him through the basement, right? QB?
I'm gonna throw this on real quick and then we'll go grab it.
Okay.
Now mother of David Harrington Jennifer, thank you so much for being with us. I'm so sorry for your loss. And can I just ask, how are you? How have these last almost 3 weeks been for you and your family?
They've been, there's no words to describe how they've been. Day by day, it's different. One day you're crying and you're just barely getting by, and the next day you're pushing yourself to try to figure out what to do next. And that's hard because you don't know what to do next. I mean, this is something I don't think anybody would know how to proceed, and especially when we don't have any answers yet. You know, all we have is a bunch of people telling us, you know, what they think might have happened, but there's no answer. So we just sit and cry, or we try to get through. I don't know what to do. I'm lost, you know, basically.
Jennifer, we just heard from Jordan Willis's attorney there. Do you have a message for Jordan Willis tonight?
I do. I keep, you know, I just saw the lawyer say that he purchased those tickets so that they could go to a game. Well, you know, people do things with good intentions, but then something bad can happen that you didn't plan on. And obviously that's what's happened. Something came up that wasn't intended to happen. And with that, I want Jordan to come forward and say, you know, this wasn't meant to happen, but this is what happened. I did this, or I saw this. You know, just tell us. I know he's scared, but he was there. He participated in whatever happened that night. He had to know. And he's the only one left that knows what happened. And I think that's why he didn't answer the text messages that people sent him. And I think that's why he waited so long to let anybody know what happened with the men.
Well, and Jennifer, can I ask you about that? With the time we have left, and there are two quick things I wanted to ask you. So, you know, his lawyer said technically Jordan received the messages, but he did not see them. Are you crying foul on that? Do you not believe that?
I think it's false just because I know I heard from several people that said they kept texting him. They went and knocked on the door. You know, they banged on the door. She had to break in, but somebody went earlier in the day. How could you keep missing texts and people knocking on your door and not notice anything, not receive, you know, any of that? I think he saw it and got scared and didn't know how to respond.
And Jennifer, lastly, what do you think happened that night, and what do you make of the speculation surrounding drugs? Any thoughts about that?
I don't know what happened. I know none of these men are drug addicts. I know that. There's speculation that, oh, they must have been doing this and that. And it, you know, something may have happened that night. I don't know. I want people to know that this wasn't their life. And if something was provided that night, I know that none of them had the means to provide that. And that's part of the reason why I think there's a problem, is that all of them were taking care of their families and their bills and did not have money for that kind of thing.
Jennifer Marquez, I hear you, and I'm so sorry again for what you are experiencing. I hear you, that you and your family just feel lost right now, and there's so little information. We appreciate you making the time tonight. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider, and don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more.
She just cut her ass clean off. I don't know. It is sad. It is extremely sad, man. And there's not a whole lot, but that they can do until the toxology comes out, you know?
Yeah, there really isn't. I mean, what Joseph Scott Morgan said, he always makes the most sense to me with his like analysis. I mean,
yeah,
he thinks too, there's no, it's just like an anomaly. Like it's not possible for all three of them to just die like that.
Well, look what Indy
Unless,
said. It shouldn't take 8 weeks in 2024 to get a toxology
right?
report. That infuriates me. Exactly. And the family shouldn't have to sit and wait. You know,
I know.
that's doing way too much.
I don't know why it takes so long. Like, what is the process that makes it so long? Like, you know what I mean? They can't like rush it, I guess.
I just said that. Rush
wonder.
nothing.
No, right? They don't. I'm sure that, yeah, I bet they found stuff in the house too, or he could have gotten rid of it, stuff, but.
Well, yeah, that's part of, not saying anything for 2 days. And I'm still not with the, the calls or the messages or nothing went through, nothing, he didn't get any messages. He didn't get any texts. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the government. I know. I mean, there is a backup. Nothing gets like precedence over something else, it just takes first come, first serve. Yeah. They just process it depending on, that makes sense. And it's busy. Wow. Some courts in Kansas City will drug test you and send the results to the judge you're going in front of the same day, but it takes 8 weeks to get toxicology. Make it make sense. It doesn't. Yeah, toxicology takes longer than a DNA test. Isn't that crazy? You would think at this point they would have found like a quicker way, But there's something with like, it probably, I don't know. There's like a lot of different organs, I guess. That you test for different things. I don't know how it works. Short staff and backlog.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. And it is first come, first serve. Doesn't matter if this is like in like a high profile case. It's just first come, first serve,
Right. Did you guys listen? I gotta change the subject for a second. Did you know that JLR was down at the
border?
Did you know that? Yeah. Did you know that he's down at the border down there? He had like 3,000 people in his chat.
What is going on? I know. I saw that. I've been, like he comes up and I'm like, what is going? Wasn't somebody else gonna go down there? Somebody was talking about going down there.
I don't know, but they did find 6 people dead in the desert. Did you guys hear about that? It
was in California.
Yeah, wasn't that crazy?
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's like in such a remote part of the desert too.
Yeah, they said it was a bad weed deal that went on.
Something.
Oh, they made arrests and stuff here.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they made an arrest. Here, this one was 15 hours ago. We'll play this first.
Oh.
And then we'll play this other one.
Breaking news. More about the murders of 6 people in the San Bernardino County desert. They were killed last week, and today is the first time the Sheriff's Department is actually releasing information about those people who were killed and new arrests. NBC4's Anastasia Olmos joins us now with tonight's developments. Anastasia.
Well, guys, the San Bernardino Sheriff, he just announced 5 arrests connected to the murders that happened last week. And he did confirm that this was related to marijuana. He could not say if it was related to a cartel, but he said that this is all related to the illicit marijuana industry happening here in his county of San Bernardino.
Sorry. Check this out. Can you hear me? Is my mic working? Can you hear me, Ellie?
Oh yeah, I was across the room. I was like, yes, I can hear. Yep. Yep.
Oh, I'm like, shit, is it bro? Is it messed up? What the hell happened?
No, I hear you. I hear you. I was like,
all right, I'm gonna finish playing this. Hold on.
Bernardino, where 6 people are now dead. Now, these are the 5 men the sheriff's department arrested. They range in age from 24 to 36, and they live anywhere from Apple Valley to Adelanto. The specialized investigation sergeant told us that they solved these murders by tracking these men through technology and people. They say they arrested them at a compound close to a marijuana grow that had not yet been established. They also recovered 8 firearms. They also learned more about the men killed here. The sheriff confirmed they were also involved in illicit marijuana business. 4 of the men range in age from 22 years old to 45, but they still have not been able to identify 2 of them. The sheriff's department said all 6 men died from fatal gunshot wounds, but 4 of them had also been burned. They say they received a 911 call from one of the men who had been shot just after 8 p.m. Tuesday night. They had to track his cell coordinates to find the scene in the remote area north of Adelanto near Lessing Avenue, and where they first found 5 men and then a 6th in the morning. It took them a day and a half to process the entire crime scene. Now, while all of this information is hard to hear, the sheriff explained this type of crime related to illicit marijuana businesses is happening often.
The last year, our marijuana enforcement teams, they served a total of 411 search warrant for illegal marijuana grows. And we're just talking a 365-day period. Discovered 14 honey oil labs, recovered 655,000 marijuana plants, 74,000 pounds of processed marijuana, and $370 million. During that period of time, our team served 11 search warrants in the immediate area where the murders took place. And they served approximately 40 search warrants to the west of that area that we call the Shadow Mountain area. So this is an area known for illicit marijuana.
The sheriff added that they investigate, quote, a number of body dumps like this across their county, and he's hoping this case brings more attention to legislative changes that need to take place. Now, they say that this is still an active investigation, but tonight they assure us they believe they have the right men responsible for these murders. Reporting live here in San Bernardino, I'm Anastasia Olmos, NBC4 News.
Now I'll go grab the one where they did arrest him.
so it was like a lot. It wasn't just like a little marijuana. It was like a million, like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It wasn't just a little bit.
It was just a little bit.
No.
We begin with breaking news. Arrests have been made in the case of 6 bodies found in the Mojave Desert. There's a live news conference underway right now. Let's go ahead and go to that.
North of the city of Adelanto. As a result of that, I want to say thank you for all of your patience. I know we've seen numerous requests as to what really caused that homicide and what information that we had as it related to that homicide. And I want to tell you that from the moment we started this investigation, we started to receive strong leads. And after I was briefed, I was quite confident that we'd be able to get the subjects that were involved in this homicide into custody. And with that, and that's the tireless efforts from our homicide team, from our specialized enforcement detail, and the Victor Valley Station, I'm pleased to announce that the 5 suspects that you see on this chart to my right were those responsible for this homicide. Before I introduce the sergeant that was in charge of this investigation and led this investigation, we used some human source and technological sources to be able to identify the suspects in this case. I would please ask your patience once again. The DA is currently reviewing the filing for this case, and there may be some questions that we're unable to answer, and we'll let you know what those are. And with that, I'd like to introduce Sergeant Mike Warwick to go through some of the details of this case. Mike.
All right. Good afternoon. My name is Sergeant Michael Warwick. That's MICHAELWARRICK. Yes, is this better? All right. I'm a sergeant with the Specialized Investigation Division, Homicide Detail. Our Specialized Investigation Division has been working on this around the clock to bring these people to justice and justice for our victims. They were murdered in the remote area north of Adelanto in San Bernardino County. I appreciate the public and the media's patience with us, which allowed our team to focus our efforts in finding those responsible. I want to remind everyone this is still an active investigation, and we will not be able to disclose all the facts of this case. What I can confirm is on Tuesday, January 23rd, 2024, at approximately 2016 hours, dispatchers received a 911 call from a subject who spoke Spanish. The caller told dispatchers he was shot, but he did not know the location he was at, and it appeared the call ended. Dispatchers tracked the phone via latitude and longitude coordinates to a remote area in the unincorporated Adelanto area near Lessing Avenue. Due to the remote location, California Highway Patrol airship assisted our deputies and conducted an extensive.
Look how they have them out there. Like laying over each other.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
I didn't even see that. Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is, man.
It's like in the middle of nowhere. It's like maybe like 60 miles outside of like Los Angeles, but like in the middle of nowhere. This happened in the desert.
Yeah, and that's what they basically said. They were out in the middle of fucking nowhere, out in the Mojave Desert. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy shit, man.
Right? It was like all over the news here too.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like local news and stuff.
Deal.
Like my mom was like, "Oh my gosh!" She was like,
Yep.
She was talking about it. She told me about it first, like the other day, or last week when it,
Yeah. You ready?
Ready.
Okay.
Once overhead the area, officers discovered a crime scene and what appeared to be multiple gunshot wound victims, 2 vehicles, and one of the vehicles was apparently shot, had multiple gunshot strikes in it. The 2 vehicles were a Dodge Caravan and a Chevy Trailblazer. At approximately 20:40 hours, deputies from the Victor Valley Station arrived on scene and located 4 deceased males with severe burns. A 5th deceased male was located in the Chevy Trailblazer, and a 6th deceased male a short distance away who sustained a gunshot wound. Our sheriff's homicide investigators assumed the investigation to process the scene and find those responsible for these heinous acts of violence. I can confirm 4 of the 6 victims have been identified. The name of the 4th victim is still being withheld pending next of kin notification. Victim number 1 is Baldemar Mondragon Albaran, 34-year-old resident of Adelanto. Victim number 2, Franklin Noel Bonilla, 22-year-old Hispanic male adult from Hesperia. Victim number 3, Kevin Darial Bonilla, 25-year-old Hispanic male adult, resident of Hesperia. Victim number 4 was a 45-year-old Hispanic male adult. Victims 5 and 6 have yet to be identified. Investigators believe Franklin Bonilla was the subject who called 911 after being shot by the suspects. To give you a timeline, it took us about a day and a half to process the extensive crime scene with 6 deceased victims, multiple vehicles, and to collect the evidence. We also had to work with the Sheriff's Coroner's Division to perform the autopsies on the 6 victims to determine cause of death. I can confirm all victims had apparent fatal gunshot injuries. Additionally, 4 of the 6 were burned at the location by the suspects. As far as the motives, we are confident that this appears to be a dispute over marijuana, which resulted in the murders. Our investigators combed through evidence collected at the scene and followed up on information provided by the community. Through extensive investigation with the assistance of the Sheriff's Narcotics and Specialized Enforcement Divisions, on Sunday, January 28, 2023, we were able to serve multiple search warrants in the town of Apple Valley, Adelanto, and the Los Angeles County area of Pinon Hills. We arrested 5 suspects involved in the murder of the 6 victims. The suspects are identified as Toniel Baez Duarte, age 34, resident of Apple Valley, Mateo Baez Duarte, age 24, resident of Apple Valley, Jose Nicolas Hernandez Sarabia, age 33, resident of Adelanto. Jose Gregorio Hernandez Sarabia, age 34, resident of Adelanto. Jose Manuel Burgos Para, age 26, resident of Adelanto. Our detectives recovered evidence, including 8 firearms. Our Scientific Investigations Division will forensically process the evidence and determine if any of those firearms were the firearms used in our murders. We are still conducting follow-up investigation, but we are confident we have arrested all the suspects in this case. They are currently in custody with no bail, pending a review of the case from the San Bernardino County District Attorney's Office. I'm proud of the work. My team did. They spent sleepless hours bringing justice to the victim and their families. I can now take some questions.
The first question is this cartel organic related? And the second one relates to, I know there's a lot of illegal marijuana grows. When you say it's over marijuana, was this like a major marijuana production? Or it's
Yeah, I think I agree with you, Glory, Liz, Happy Life. I think this was more about I think they played with somebody's money.
Right.
I think they fucked around and they found out real quick.
Something happened. Something went
I don't
awry.
think it's over some weed, that's for sure.
Can you elaborate on that a little?
To the first question, obviously it's an open investigation. There's a lot going on. There's certain things at the scene that show a level of violence that obviously raises some interesting questions for us. But at this point in the investigation, we can't comment on if we believe this is cartel related or not. And to the second question,
Elaborate a little more on marijuana. Was it an illegal grow? Was marijuana illegal?
Emily, I'll grab that one. So I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of backup and talk a little bit about the region and what we've experienced out there in that region. So, and one thing that hasn't been mentioned yet, we need to remember that even looks like maybe the victims might have been involved in some level of criminal activity in this. We still need to always acknowledge the human perspective of this, and there are true victims in this. And as a result of what's going on in that area, to answer your question, in the last year, our marijuana enforcement teams, they served a total of 411 search warrants for illegal marijuana grows. And we're just talking a 365-day period. Discovered 14 honey oil labs, recovered 655,000 marijuana plants, 74,000 pounds of processed marijuana, and $370 million. During that period of time, our team served 11 search warrants in the immediate area where the murders took place. And they served approximately 40 search warrants to the west of that area that we call the Shadow Mountain area. So this is an area known for illicit marijuana. Does that help you a little bit? Okay. Any other questions?
Illicit marijuana growing.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
And this was related to illicit marijuana.
For all intents and purposes, it looks like illicit marijuana was the driving force behind these murders. And that's all we really know at this point. And I think we need to acknowledge really, why we're here and why are we talking about illicit marijuana. And as you said, this is legal in the state of California. The reality is Proposition 64 in the fine print took illicit marijuana and moved it from a felony to a misdemeanor. And the reality of this is by allowing that, we've unleashed a plague in this California. And the plague is the black market of marijuana and certainly cartel activity and a number of victims that are out there. And it's certainly my hope. I'm seeing a number of legislators change Prop 47 and some things we're concerned about. I hope they take the same view of Prop 64 and change this so that they give law enforcement a fighting chance to put some teeth into this law and to take back and prevent a number of these homicides and other things that we see occurring. If we don't fix that, we're going to continue to do this. I gave you stats for just the past year, but prior to that, thousands of marijuana grows that we've taken out in partnership with the Bureau of Cannabis Control, with partnership with our other state partners and federal partners. But right now, folks, we have gotten a much better control over this. But it's interesting. I just read an article that was produced back in 2020 in Cal Matters and what the supporters were saying about Prop 64. And it said it would bring the state's booming unregulated recreational marijuana under the rule of law and protect consumers and the environment. And it's recognition of decades of prohibition against aggressive enforcement and criminal laws that don't work. That's false, 100%. Our environment, we prize our environment in this state. You go look at our deserts. It's hoop house trash that's left over. A very small water source that's available to the public has been tapped into. Look at this law through the lens of this case and all the statistics that I gave you. And then please research the other counties across the state of California. They have the exact same problems. We need to prevent these types of senseless murders from happening, and we can do it, and we have it in our power. We just need to make an adjustment. The police are not going after people who are smoking marijuana recreationally. It's illicit marijuana, and everything that Prop 64 was promised may possibly occur if we could just simply make that adjustment and change the way that we handle illicit marijuana in this state. Rob?
Question. Is it fair to, I know you don't want to say it's cartel related just yet, is it fair to call this organized crime?
Rob, yes, it is. And look, based on our training experience, all of you hired experts that have also been talking about this case until we got to this point of the press conference. Based on our training and experience, we believe a lot of these things are occurring that are maybe related to much bigger things going on. The reality is factually at this point in the case, I can't tell you that, but it certainly looks like it has a lot of the modeling of cartel cases and things of that nature.
Another question: the person who called 911, is that the body that was found like 100 yards away or 200 yards away? The one that was found kind of away from the primary scene.
Mike, can you answer that, please?
Yes, we can say at this point that was.
Sure.
I know there was another question. Brian, go ahead.
Yeah. Did this appear to be a scheduled meetup? And if so, what was supposed to happen? Or does this look more like an ambush?
Brian, maybe all of the above based on evidence we're looking at. But again, once the DA's office reviews this, and it's certainly my hope after we get through the preliminary hearing and a number of things, we'll be able to give it a little bit more information to the group with specificity.
Did the victims get off any shots?
That I'm not sure of. Do we know, Mike?
I don't think we're comfortable speaking to that at this point in the investigation.
Sure. Are these legal U.S. citizens?
So a couple of the people that we identified in terms of the victims may be nationally from Honduras. We're not able to, we're working with the consulate right now to make that determination. We're not sure.
So you search warrants in those multiple locations. Is it accurate to say that those search warrants were issued at those rows? Where were the suspects arrested?
The suspects were arrested on, I would describe it as a compound. It was close to a grow that was being formed but wasn't active yet. A lot of the areas that we were dealing with were adjacent to marijuana grows, but the search warrants themselves, none of them were hit at a grow site.
Can you say any of those suspects had prior criminal activity or anything on the record?
Not at this point in the investigation. We're still working through all that.
It's just 5 or
I believe the 5 that we have are the 5 responsible for the crime. I don't think there's anybody else who we would say is responsible for the crime out there.
As best you can, you immediately got leads. What were these leads, and what was the motivation from whoever was calling you guys?
I would love to be able to speak to that, but really that's definitely part of the investigation that the DA is going to have to review, and that's part of the ultimate adjudication of this that we need, and it's really, we can't release that type of information right now.
Sheriff, I have another follow-up question for you. I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like this institution for all these 6 people, but how many other murders were going on because of these illegal grows in your area?
So I just speaking to San Bernardino County, now obviously anytime you have mass 6 people that are murdered, I mean, that's shocking to your conscience, let's be honest. But I can tell you that since we've been investigating illegal marijuana grows, a number of body dumps and things have been related to this across our county. And to give you an exact number, I'm sorry, I don't have that, but it isn't an anomaly. The anomaly here is the amount of people that were murdered, of course. And this is a problem. And this is a problem that's not really being talked about.
You're hearing from San Bernardino County Sheriff Shannon Dykes talking about the arrests of 5 people. Search warrants served yesterday in Pinion Hills, Apple Valley, and Adelanto, resulting in the arrest of those 5 people in the murders of 6 people. His suspicion is that it is related to marijuana. The suspicion is that it's perhaps organized crime, even cartel related. That has not been definitively answered yet. The investigation is still underway. But the shocking crime of 6 bodies found in the Mojave Desert. They believe they have all their suspects in custody now, those people being held without bail. We will, of course, have more detail and release more detail as it becomes available in later editions of Eyewitness News. Hello, I'm Mark Brown. Get more great ABC7 content by clicking the subscribe button for our YouTube channel and download the ABC7 Los Angeles streaming app on Fire TV, Android TV, Apple TV, and Roku.
Damn, they're all over, ain't they? Shit. Apple TV.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. Anyways, I think we've done pretty good. Been on here 2.5 hours and stuff and went over everything.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you coming up and going over it with me, love. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Guess you're going live later again?
Yeah, I'll be live on the Hive tonight. I'm gonna go finish. I gotta finish going over that fucking live at Jones's. So
live on the Hive.
Live on the Hive. It's
Okay,
set for
see you.
7, so I'll be on there about 7 or 8ish, somewhere in there. But yeah, I'm gonna
Cool.
finish going over it. There's a whole bunch of there's more shit in there that needs to be gone. Like I said, I wouldn't even be going over the shit if it wasn't for all the little fucking digs that she wanted to fucking make. I'm not with that bullshit. I'm done. I've had enough of it. Corinne gifted a membership. Thank you so much, love. I appreciate that. If you guys got it, make sure you tell her thank you.
I'll see you later. Bye.
We'll see you later, love. Yeah, see, yeah, the Hive is where we'll be at. That's my backup channel. So that's where we'll be at. And I will catch y'all on the flip side. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you guys showing love and support. Y'all have a good one. I'll catch you at the Hive later. Be there or be square.